Yeah, 50 Cent, Sean Paul. They said they ready, but I know for sure they not ready. Go against the grain and for sure you gon' get it.
Yo, we got Wayno right here on ThisIs50.com.
Yes!
They call me the Heineken live in full effect.
DJ Thorough, a.k.a. Thorough Zano, Bridge to the Street.
AKA he owns Australia, man.
My guy,
This
man.
nigga getting that koala dollars,
My
B.
guys.
Wayno, how you feeling? Last time you was up here, you know, you was working the management circuit, but now to see you in a different light is interesting.
I feel great, man. I ain't gonna lie, man. Like everything I'm doing, honestly, like I'm in a whole different thing. That's something I never really imagined what I'm doing now, but I'm doing everything I wanted to do since I was a kid. You know what I'm saying? It's like I really still have that same feeling when I was like 4 or 5 years old. I always felt like I would be something.
That's
You know
the
what I mean?
goal
At one
all
point
the
in
time.
time, yeah. So I feel good. I can't complain, man. For real.
Like, how did you get the look for everyday struggle? Because, you know, we know you from managing artists, managing brands, working with Reebok. Let's not forget that.
Oh, wow, I forgot about that one.
Remember when I had to get the package from you? And remember, I didn't ask for free, right?
Yeah, no. Yeah, you're right. Wow, I forgot about that.
You know why? I
Yo.
don't like asking people anything for free when I know they got kids.
Oh, I appreciate that, bro.
Cause nigga, bills is bills. Man.
Bills is a motherfucker, boy. Listen.
Like I never asked you anything for free. I'd be like, no, you got a son, dog.
Yo, but I ain't gonna front. I always say like the best way for a person to show you that they fucking with you is to throw you some bread or put you in a position to give you some bread, to get some bread. Not to just give it to you.
Yeah, I
But
know.
if you know I'm trying to do my thing, I'ma pay. Like sometimes I might go to a restaurant if the owner's nice and not the owner, the waiter's nice and they saying some things about themselves, I throw an extra couple dollars just because I know, like, I want to pay for my service. And you can't get money without spreading that shit around anyway.
Definitely, man.
Yeah,
But
man.
how did you get to the goal of
Everyday
well, not
struggle?
the goal, but
well,
you know,
everyday struggle. Honestly, I started watching it. You know, I was already watching it. Period. And then like when Star came on, I grew up on Star. I used to wake up early as shit
All
in the
of us.
morning to turn Star on. Like they hit him talk crazy. Like that was my shit. So one day I just randomly texted Nadeska and just told her, I was like, yo, what's up? How you doing? Because I had worked with her on a few things with like her interviewing artists at one
interesting.
point in
People
time.
wouldn't know that.
Yeah, Nadeska's the homie. Like me and her been cool for like about 3 years. And we just always had a real cool, cordial, respectful relationship. So I just hit her to say what's up. And then she hit me like a week later after I texted her. She's like, yo, my fault. She's like, yo, why don't you come up? You know what I mean? Why don't you come up and do an interview? So,
That's dope, man.
You know what I mean? I came up, I did the interview, and after I did the interview, they was just like, yo, that was really fun. They was like, would you come back? And I was like, all right.
All right.
You know what I mean? And they asked me where I auditioned, and I auditioned, and, you know, it was.
What was the auditioning process like? Was it just you? Was it?
No, it was all of us. It was just like running through a show. Like we just ran through like.
You know what I mean? Was it other personalities in line for the scene?
No.
Okay.
Like that's the thing. It's like, you know, y'all know me, man. I've been doing like A&R and management and trying to get my label off the ground. I never imagined like doing something like this. So it was kind of different for me. But this shit is nothing but me having conversations that me and you have when we're just chilling. Like having a conversation at the barbershop. You know what I mean? Like it's regular.
But it's a skill level to be able to speak, you know, very clearly or get your point across to where it translates well on the camera, positively or negatively. You know
Well,
what I mean?
my mom used to tell me all the time that I should have been on the debate team. Cause I used to argue with my cousins when I got to a certain age and I started feeling myself, which I was wrong for doing this, but I started getting into it with my mom. She used to be like, "Yo, ass need to be on the debate team." So it's like I have no problem with arguing. I love arguing about basketball, sports, music.
The shit we was just talking about off camera, man. Dope.
I'm from Harlem, B. Like
I know. Oh man.
Yeah, exactly. I'm
Harlem
from Harlem,
different.
so it's like I used to rap, and this is around like when Smoke DZA and Murder Mook and T-Rex and them and all of these dudes. We grew up together, so I used to write shit, and then like they'd have a cipher, and I'd be like, yeah, I'm gonna say something today, and then Mook could say something that's insane. I'd be like, nah, I ain't gonna do it. Yeah, like you know what I mean. Or then DZA would say something, I'd be like, nah, I ain't gonna do it.
Nah.
You know what I mean? So I do feel like I mean I have that background from trying to be a rapper. Right. Then I have my background with music. I worked at Rockefeller. Right. You know, I worked with a lot of different artists, producers, etc. So now, like, I feel like I got something to say. My words should be taken serious, but there is a lot of people who don't have credibility, or they have a different sort of credibility that we're not used to, in a sense.
I mean, you know, this game is tricky. You either work very hard to get very minimal, or you got great cheat codes. It's a combination of things, so you earn your keep. You know, there are people who are like, yo, how did you get this look? Nigga, I'm like, I've been shooting mad bricks, B. Now my shit's going now.
But yo, I deal with that a lot because a lot of people think that Akademiks is not qualified. Like a
he
lot
put
of
the
people,
work in.
Yo, what people fail to realize is like, if he didn't create the platform that he created, a lot of motherfuckers wouldn't be getting money. Like
break
for
that
real.
down.
And what I mean by that is like, I kind of, and this is just my own opinion, I equate like what Akademiks does and his platform to kind of like World Star in 08 or World
That
Star
was
in
a
07.
good time. I got my name off of World Star in 08.
Word, yeah.
The Pinky interview and the Who Kid. And they got me knocking out of there.
Right, so it's like, I think, honestly, the problem is that Akademiks comes from a place, hip hop is always synonymous with the streets.
Mm-hmm. Being tough.
Yeah, it's tough. It's like, even with image, I mean, like, I got a lot of tattoos and shit. I ain't got no felonies, but I come from the street, you know what I'm saying?
You did work.
So people always feel like only certain people can say shit about hip hop. So when they see Akademiks, they don't see the streets. And he does have a great perspective on hip hop, but it's one side of how he feels. But then there's also the alternative.
Yeah.
That's kind of what my side is, you know what I mean? Like, because Akademiks, he breaks a lot of the young guys. You know, that's what I mean about like a lot of dudes wouldn't be getting money because his platform puts people in position to be seen that he actually likes, and then they can springboard their career off the opportunity. To
He
be
don't
in
like
there.
atting niggas. Sometimes he forgets the at button.
Yeah, what's up with him with that?
I don't know, yo.
You can't be technologically smart and don't know how to use the at button.
You know what's so funny? Every time I'm with Act, like when we work, like we never talk about his shit like that. Like but he's very, very smart. He's very intelligent. Yeah, but
I can't take that away from
I always
him.
wondered that too. Like, why he don't ever at nobody?
He
Like,
does that.
yo, it was so funny because you know we have this little basketball thing going on, right? Yo, he put up a tweet and he was like, yo, caught one of these black Twitter niggas slipping. You know what I mean? Because we was playing on a like the Chuck E. Cheese machine, and he hit more than I did. But the thing was like the way he worded the shit, it looked like he ain't fuck with me. Like, but it was so funny because for the people who didn't know me, it gave me exposure. But for the people who did, they was like, damn, you like Akademiks? Do you like that?
You know.
You know what I mean? So he got a method to his madness.
What do you think about Pusha T's artwork, which was Kanye's idea?
Yo,
women are going crazy.
Now,
Wayno.
this is funny because I talk to Pusha T every day. Like we work on shit. But we never talk about his music. Like I didn't hear none of this shit until everybody else heard it.
Okay.
So I was having dinner with Push, and he told me about it was me, Steven Victor, and my man Shiv, and he told me about the artwork, and then I said, "What is it?" And he said, "Yo, it's Whitney Houston's bathroom."
Yo,
Look. But like,
What was the thought of you?
Yo, I almost spit my water out. I was like, that's crazy, but I just thought, see, you know that goes along with being an artist. It's not just fucking rapping 100 bars. It's artwork. It's a whole presentation.
Yes.
Regardless if Biggie's albums was Ready to Die and Life After Death.
yeah.
He had death in both his titles of his projects, but it was the narrative of why he felt that way. You get what I'm saying? Yeah. So that's what my Hove, and I don't want none of these niggas will never be Hove. They would never be that. But I just be like, damn, what do these niggas be rapping about sometimes? That's what I question. And the nerve of a lot of these niggas to think I was talking about them. You know what I mean? Like for real. It's a lot of niggas that was like, yo, this nigga Wayno talking crazy about what I'm not. You're not even on the radar, my nigga. Like for real. My whole thing is I'm talking about the dudes who have a shot. And I'm not saying that they're not ever gonna do it. And Casanova is my man. That's my nigga. We got a good personal relationship. And I said that to him because I need to say shit like that to my brother.
Just to get the
you know what I mean? He needed to be mad at me for a week and not say nothing to me. But he wasn't though. He wasn't, but we have that type of relationship because that's what brings out the best in a person.
What was your thoughts when Casanova and 6ix9ine squashed their...
Oh man, let me tell you that. I'm so proud of Casanova, bro, because like I said, man, this is my guy. Like we have like really good conversations and like it shows me how mature he is. You know what I mean? Because that shit could go left. Niggas was rolling dice like, yo, one of these niggas gonna die any day now. You know what I mean? Like New York, and this is another conversation, but New York is heavily affected by gang culture. You know what I mean?
Which is interesting because that's not our...
It's not our culture, but see, that's another part of the whole New York conversation as to why we don't reach certain plateaus because we push certain shit. Now, one thing I learned about being from New York and this gang shit, you can't tell no nigga what he can feel like he is or ain't.
That's true.
You can't. But, like I said, due to 6ix9ine's affiliations and Casanova's affiliations, that shit could go either way.
Easy.
And I think that is very big of them as men. Like, let's talk about them being men before artists. And putting their egos to the side. I'm not looking for them niggas to do no mixtape together. Right. I'm not even looking forward to a song. But just for that shows like, okay, we can move in the right direction.
It'd be dope to hit them on a record together.
It's gonna be loud.
Well, yeah.
You know?
One thing, you got a dope relationship with Kevin Durant. Like,
Yeah.
How do you, like, have you hit him like, yo, nigga, don't fuck the package up?
Nah, man. Yo, honestly, I really leave KD alone during the season.
Like, y'all really friends. This ain't no bullshit.
Yeah, that's the homie. Like, I ain't gonna front, man. KD is a really good homie. You know what I mean? We built our relationship through his brother Tony. And, you know, I took him to my man Set Free spot, the compound up in the Bronx. Like, I took KD. I'm the only person to say I took KD to the Bronx with no security. You know what I mean? Like, but we you know, we got a good relationship, man. I leave him alone during the season. When it's off, we gonna talk some shit about ball. But you might see him pop up in my comments on IG every now and then. You
Like,
know what I mean?
did you know he was gonna go to Golden State?
Nah, I mean we wasn't as cool when at that time.
Okay.
We wasn't as cool as we is now. I had no idea. Like honestly, I thought me personally, I wanted to see him go to Washington.
Me too.
Yeah, I wanted to see him go to Washington.
I think he would have snuffed one of them niggas, Beal or John Wall.
Nah, honestly, I think if he would have went to Washington, they'd be going to the Eastern Conference Finals right now.
I wanted him to go to Boston.
Nah, Boston.
At that time?
KD?
Yeah.
Boston just started. I'm a Laker fan, so I can't even. I don't jack Boston, man.
So
I don't jack Boston.
what would he do for you if LeBron came to LA?
Oh, it's lit. You crazy? Like
There's
I'm wild.
a lot of people that don't like.
Oh, nah, he not doing that. If he does that, I can't watch basketball, man. Nah, but I don't think he'd do that. I think people, when LeBron did leave, it's not like he went to, imagine if LeBron would have went to Boston, right? When he left. That was the team that bumped him in 2010.
Yeah.
You know, so I think that, you know, he just went to go team up with his guys. You know what I mean? He had a good relationship with D Wade and all of that shit, but.
Any truth to the point, I heard even Stephen A. Smith said it was supposed to be Melo, but Melo didn't want to leave the bread. So they opted for Chris Bosh.
Shit, man. Listen, Melo bread is up, dog. Honestly, I always think about, you know, my personal sports fantasy shit. If I would have rather Melo went to Chicago at that time. Because you still had a good Derrick Rose, you still had a good Joakim Noah.
I think Luol Deng was still on it.
Luol Deng was still there, but they might have moved him for a piece. You know what I mean? But you had a nice squad. I would have wanted Melo to go there, but dog, if you know you got $110 million, like, on the table, but if you stay, you getting 150 or 162. Are you gonna leave 40-something million on the table? Hell no. 11 times out of 10, you're not leaving that.
I also know you and Dave East had a hell of a relationship. I know you used to run around with him, you used to go hard for him.
Yeah.
Always, every time I see you, I see
Yeah, absolutely.
And vice versa.
Yeah.
And you guys, obviously, I guess no longer working together.
Right.
What I've noticed, before you even answer this question, a lot of people.
This is a dope perspective. I know where you're going.
Once they reach a level of success, they're never with the people they started with. It's always somebody that had nothing to do with the situation that benefits from the outcome. What happened with you and Dave East, and why you're no longer working together?
Well, it's not that. Like, it's not specifically that. I think when I got with Dave, when I met Dave,
You're the reason I start. Remember when I hit you and we brought him up here for that first interview, and nobody had been listening. But I know when you stamp a person, I got to put my energy towards that.
Well, I mean, the thing, I met Dave doing like hosting showcases at SOBs and shit, and we got cool for like over a year. And then I asked him, you know what I mean, would he be open to me managing him? And what we did was like, we did something really great for Harlem. Like, we did something really great because
powerful.
people hadn't seen, you know, a tandem of like a 1 and 2 punch with me being a manager, him being an artist, and I believed in him and he believed in me. That can never be erased. The thing with Dave is just that, you know, he got to a point where he was trying to go to certain places in his career, and I was trying to do certain shit with my career, and we just decided to go different ways because, you know, it didn't make sense for us to, like, if I wanted to do something and he wanted to do something and it wasn't gonna work, like, going forward together for us to be, like, trying to tie each other up, you know? So the thing is he wanted to go in a certain direction and I wanted to go in a certain direction, and we respectfully just kept it moving. You know what I mean?
No bad blood.
Nah, it ain't no bad blood. Like,
Because let's keep it frankly honest.
Yeah.
Since the disconnect or the mutual departing, the energy hasn't been the same because the intricacy of your relationships and the deals you put in. Like when you talk about publishing deals on Everyday Struggle, you were giving different knowledges. There's just shit you just can't get back from other people. And I've noticed the energy hasn't been the same. That's not for you to comment on.
Yeah.
But you know, sometimes I don't, like Raymond Reddington said, value loyalty above everything else. You know
Well,
what
I can't. Well, one thing I won't say is that I can't say that he didn't honor loyalty. I won't specifically say that he wouldn't honor loyalty because that's a whole another conversation. And like I said, we don't have bad blood.
All right.
I took Dave to become Muslim. Like, you know what I mean? Like we prayed together a lot. You know what I'm saying? So I won't put that on him as that he wasn't loyal to me or I wasn't loyal to him. What I will say is that like we just went different directions. Like
grown man shit.
Yeah, grown man shit. Like we went different directions. Like I got kids, he has a child. He has to think about his future. And if it's not within the plan or the direction that he wants to go in or I want to go in, it don't make no sense to keep doing the shit. Now
I know what you mean.
Yeah, but at the same time, it's like I think Dave is way more than capable of doing his thing, and he still is doing his thing. Like he don't. One thing I never wanted to put on Dave is that I didn't want people to feel like he was only dope because I said he was dope. He was dope. That's what made me want to.
Yeah,
he's still dope. That's what made me want to work with him. So like our time was our time. Like that shit cannot be erased. Nothing could take that. Like nothing could take that shit.
How different is it now breaking an artist 4 years ago as it is now?
Oh man, this shit is really different. It's really
like let's break it because these artists need to see this.
No, this shit is really different. I mean, yo, honestly, I'm not even gonna lie. Like I'm readjusting. Like
me too.
I'm learning a lot of new things because honestly, like I started shit, man. I started in this shit like 01. Like for real. I started in this shit 01. I was 18. You know, and I really got my start like foot on the ground like 02 with working at Rockefeller, the Young Guns and all of that. And then I thought a lot of shit should have worked for them. And I didn't know that music was changing. I didn't know music business. I just knew music. I didn't know the music business. And like, I learned a lot. Like when I came in and I was working with Dave, it was a new thing for me. I had never managed an artist that had the type of opportunities he had. So, like I learned a lot of things on the job. I didn't go to school for this shit or none of that. You know what I mean? I learned a lot of shit on the job. Now it's like, it depends because I feel like it depends on what type of artist you're trying to be. If you're trying to be an artist that's lyrical, has substance, and all of that shit, I think that you just have to articulate your message to your consumer in order for them to understand it. Don't try to put this shit where you feel like, no, you're bugging if you don't like me. You can't do that. Because I don't dislike Lil Pump because niggas who like J. Cole don't like him. Like I don't dislike him for that. Or I don't, you know, and then I just think like with the younger guys, that's the shit I'm figuring out because
yo, it's different.
It's different.
You know
what you got?
I don't like the separation of you don't think you could be lyrical and make good music, make dope shit? Because people separate.
Yo, they separate that shit.
that.
So
right.
here's all right.
Why is that separate?
All right, did you see the shit? I did the shit on the pull up.
Yeah.
With Joe Button.
That was we got to talk about that.
Right.
Because you had New York City.
Yeah, niggas was mad, but the whole fact of the matter is this: is that nobody can tell me nothing about New York. I was born in the Bronx. I moved to Harlem when I was 12, and like I had my children there. Harlem made me a man. This shit is tattooed on my hand. Nobody can never take me being from New York. So like you said, the credentials. I got something to say. My thing with New York is that we have a ton of great rappers. I'm not discounting nobody's ability to be able to put words together and do shit. But as far as a narrative within the music that makes people fully engage with making music, not just having 100 bars, we don't have that. We lack that in a lot of places.
You mean storytelling?
It's not just storytelling.
Okay.
It's not just storytelling. Me personally, like, I grew up listening to Biggie. As a grown man, I truly doubt that a lot of the shit he was rapping about, he actually did.
90% of the motherfuckers.
Yeah.
Right. But the way he said it is what brought you in. It was captivating. And it wasn't just what he said. It's the production that's layered under. Niggas don't respect producers here. And like,
Thurl's a producer.
Right, real shit.
I'm saying some real shit.
Like niggas don't respect producers, right? Niggas don't take time out to sit with a producer and sit down and say, yo, listen, I got this fucking idea, but I don't really know where I want to go with it. What do you think? And they say, you know what? I'm thinking this about that. Let me lay these type of tracks. Let's download these type of kits. Let's make a full-on production value when it comes to music, a narrative.
That's a New York thing, you feel.
But you know the problem too? A lot of niggas are beat makers.
They're
producers.
beat makers,
There's
right?
a difference. They're not
Right.
producers.
But what's the difference? Because
The difference is.
what about
you
down
gotta-
south producers?
No, listen. The difference between.
We gonna get to that
You
too.
know, because I live down south.
The difference between a beat maker and a producer is what he just said. You gotta have your hands on. It's a one-on-one. You gotta come in and sit down, and the track has to be tailor-made for what you're doing and saying. Motherfuckers just give you a beat CD and you come out with what you come out with.
Because
I like that breakdown.
Everybody's trying to get this check.
Right.
You know what I mean? Niggas is trying to get this check. Now the thing about it is, now even it's certain people that might try to consider a person like a Metro a beat maker. No, he's not. He's a full-on producer. You want to know why? Because what I love about down south, I really don't, like when I was a kid, I didn't know where the fucking Ghetto Boys was from. I just knew that I loved Minors Playing Tricks on Me.
Right.
That shit didn't matter. The problem with New York is that we regionalize ourselves because we feel like we're behind in the race to keep saying, guess what, y'all? We're from New York.
we're
Guess
back.
what, y'all? We're over here. Guess what? Instead of focusing on making records and making albums that last the test of time. And that's because a lot of the subject matter, I feel like even if you're gonna fucking lie, at least tell a good one. For real, yo.
They said they're ready, but I know for sure they're not ready. Go against the grain and for sure you gon' get it. Won't flip, pop, you drop, get deaded. Flee the crime scene, I forget it. When real boys pop off, they don't want credit. If niggas know you did it, then police know you did it.